After seducing Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon Episode 4, Daemon tries convincing Viserys to marry Rhaenyra to him, but the fact that he didn't actually sleep with her reveals his true intentions. House of the Dragon Episode 4 officially marks the end of childhood for Rhaenyra, with the princess learning to reject many of the patriarchal expectations laid upon noble women. This lesson is taught by her uncle Daemon, who seduces her in a flea-bottom pleasure house in an effort to get caught. In the end, Daemon's plan gets him exiled while Viserys no longer trusts Rhaenyra, as he gives her moon tea despite denying that she and Daemon slept together. House of the Dragon Episode 4's act scenes cleverly cut between Daemon and Rhaenyra and Viserys and Alicent, emphasizing that one couple is enjoying acts for pleasure while the other engages in it for duty. However, while Daemon kisses and undresses Rhaenyra, he abruptly begins rejecting her affection and abandons her in the brothel. Since Daemon removed Rhaenyra's hat to reveal her silver hair, a boy employed by Mysaria spots her when calling out to Daemon, with the news quickly making its way to Otto Hightower. While Daemon and Rhaenyra never actually slept together, the now banished Daemon Targaryen refuses to disprove the accusation. Daemon's underlying motivations in seducing Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon Episode 4 weren't simply to sleep with her, as he truly wanted to make his brother angry and have her virtue questioned. Viserys never would have accepted a marriage proposal between Rhaenyra and Daemon, so the rogue prince devised a way to back him into a corner and force their betrothal. The king quickly catches onto this and surmises that Daemon's intention was to place himself closer to the Iron Throne. Though this isn't entirely accurate, there are two elements that explain why Daemon doesn't sleep with Rhaenyra. That Daemon knew what he is doing is wrong, and that Daemon's affection for Rhaenyra kept him from taking it too far by sleeping with her. But he still takes advantage of the situation by trying to gain power and the Iron Throne through marriage. Why Daemon seduces Rhaenyra, but doesn't have acts with her. While House of the Dragon Episode 4 showed Daemon was able to seduce Rhaenyra by kissing and undressing her, he couldn't fulfill the act due to impotence. Once he wasn't in the dominant position and Millie Alcock's young Rhaenyra became more excited than shocked by the seduction. Daemon realized what he was doing was wrong and couldn't become excited by it himself. By losing control of the situation and fully understanding the ramifications of actually ruining Rhaenyra for his personal gain, Daemon's biology stepped in and kept him from making a huge mistake. Daemon knew that seducing Rhaenyra and being seen in the brothel would accomplish his goal of angering Viserys. But when it came down to it, he couldn't take it that far by having sex with his niece. All Daemon really needed was to cause doubt of her virtue for Viserys to consider marrying Rhaenyra to him. And the potion the Maester gives Rhaenyra proves this worked, as perception was ultimately more important than the truth. House of the Dragon shows that Daemon does care for Rhaenyra, so taking her virginity at that moment would have betrayed what little morality he has left. What does Daemon Targaryen really want? In House of the Dragon Episode 4 Seconds Ending, Viserys deduces that Daemon's real motivation in seducing Rhaenyra was to get himself closer to the Iron Throne. However, House of the Dragon has already proven this isn't necessarily the case. Daemon has never wanted the Iron Throne. He doesn't even know what to do when he has such power. This is part of the reason why he returned from the Stepstones as King of the Narrow Sea but handed his crown over to Viserys, as he wants power and respect, but not necessarily as the next House Targaryen family king of Westeros. Daemon desires respect from his brother and a position that would allow him to stand beside Viserys without being undermined by those around him. By marrying Rhaenyra to Daemon in Targaryen tradition, Viserys would be forced to keep his brother next to him and uplift him as the next king consort. Do Daemon and Rhaenyra get married in House of the Dragon? House of the Dragon Episode 4 Matt Smith is Prince Daemon Targaryen, Millie Alcock is Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen Hedder. Daemon and Rhaenyra do eventually get married in House of the Dragon. Rhaenyra will first marry Rhaenyra Velaryon, with whom she'll have 3 sons. After the death of his wife Rhaeroys, Daemon will marry Lady Rhaenyra Velaryon, with whom he'll have 2 daughters. However, both Rhaenyra and Rhaena die in 120 AC, leading Daemon and Rhaenyra to marry within 6 months of their spouses' deaths. Daemon and Rhaenyra will presumably get married sometime after the House of the Dragon 10-year time jump, at which point Emma Darcy will have taken over the role of the princess from Millie Alcock.